Hello, good evening everyone. Wow, English tayo. Anyway, we have a special guest tonight. Hyper na naman tayo kasi bagong ligo tayo. We have a special guest kasi ang topic natin is about mindset of an online worker. So let me introduce first kung sino yung ating guest for tonight kasi sobrang I'm sure makaka-relate kayo at may excite din kayo kapag nakilala niyo siya. Our guest for today is creative at heart with a great interest in design and handmade things. And mom din siya ng dalawang kids who fond of traveling and adventures. She has tried skydiving, wow, bungee jumping, snowboarding, weightlifting, pilates, and a bit of singing. Oh, parang ako lang dito.
Wow,
And
grabe.
salsa lessons. Ayan. Our momshi guest has demonstrated history of working in information technology and tertiary education industries, particularly IT service, management, business process improvement, and project management office. Her background is in
Ayun
the
ang
IT
siya din
space.
ang ating guest today.
Yon. And alam nyo ba na siya ang CEO and co-founder of Kaya Services, which is a Sydney-based outsourced service consultancy and a VA services provider who has a mission to make a difference both locally and globally. So as a CEO of Kaya Services, one of her mission is to help more mothers work from home by matching their skills to entrepreneurs who are wanting to scale their business. She also believes in continuous improvement and is a true leader of Empowered Virtual Services or EVS with a vision to empower people to be their best selves so that they too can make a difference in their own ways. Ma'am, si
Yes.
JC, sino ang guest natin?
Yes, ang ating guest ngayon ay talaga naman, you will learn a lot from this person. So make sure na stay tuned kayo from start to the end kasi super jam-packed siya. The mindset that
Yes.
will be taught today or at least yung ituturo niya sa atin is siguradong magagamit nyo not just for freelancing but also if you're gonna start your own business or if you're targeting premium clients nga kasi di ba nasa Sydney rin siya. So ang ating guest today is si Miss Yona Signo. Ayan.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Magandang gabi to everybody who's watching. Thank you for having me.
Yes, it's a
Thank you for
pleasure.
joining us today.
Yes!
Because we're here to learn a lot.
Oh, so am I. I think this is good for all of us, and I think, and this is what I love about the online community is the love for collaboration and being able to learn from each other. And I think that's one of the important things. And again, Sheena, thank you for being a guest of our sharing your journey in our empowered community. And I'm excited to be here. So thank you to everybody and hello.
Ay! Nakaka-excite. Ayan. Actually, sa mga guests sa mga nandito, naka-home base kada natin, honestly, the discussion might be in English, but then, you can always ask questions. Huwag kayo mahihiya magtanong kung sa tingin
Yes.
nyo, if it's in Tagalog, no problem. Just
Oo.
comment.
We will
Especially kung may...
translate it.
Nagtatagalog din, pero
Yes.
yung Tagalog, baka, see, I might make a mistake. There you go.
No problem. May Grammarly dito. Ayan. Okay, so ang topic natin for tonight is about mindset of an online worker. Pero before we proceed with the discussions, batiin ko lang muna yung lahat ng nandito. Ayan, yung mga naka-tune in sa atin. Watching from Compostela, Davao de Oro. Ayan. Sheila May. Ma'am si Sheila May. Ayan. Oh, si Ma'am si Roxanne Malifero, nakaabot daw siya. Great, great. We're both live sa Facebook page and sa YouTube channel natin, SHEENA Santos. So, ayan, sana lagi kayong mag-tune in dyan. Every Thursday or Friday, magkakaroon na tayo ng live dyan. Ayan, sabi ni Mafe Velasco, yes, Yona LS. Oh, mukhang nandun din siya sa page nyo.
Yes, nagsusuporta.
Yes. Arian Ponaya, yes, go Yona. Gladys Sarasa, ayan. Watching from Caloocan, Efril. Hoy, Efril.
Yes. Tsaka nagsabi
Yay.
sa akin, it's working na at life.
Nice, nice. Nelson Jarina or Harina, good evening din po watching from General Santos.
Wow. Wow.
Ayan. Jing Cornelio watching from Carmona, Cavite. Ayun. And
Amazing.
Angelita Lakindanum. Hello, sakto tune in ako. Nice.
Wow, ang saya. So many people here.
Yes,
Yay.
at marami pa pong dadating. Yun.
We are at 25 na right now.
Nice.
25
And, ayan o. Sherilyn Bacalso, watching from Las Piñas City. Oh, pa dapat watching from gano'n o.
Oh, no.
Herman Consolacion, watching from Santa Rosa. Ayan. Look, sabi ko sa'yo, don't ask us to be so informal eh. Yan na naman,
Oo,
wala basta naman
ano.
yung sabi ko, yan, pag bagong ligo ka talaga, ganyan ang ano mo eh.
Fresh.
Donut, watching from Nueva Vizcaya. And Felix Dacat. Hello, mommies.
I love it.
Alright, so, ayan, na-hyper na naman po
Oo.
ako. Alright, so, JC, ayan, sige, umpisa natin. Ano ba mga, kinondas-spot ko na naman. Alright. Sige, go! Ano mga tatanong natin kay, ano ba to,
Oh,
hot
Dubai.
seat bang style to hot seat?
Sige. Ma'am Yona, ano po ba ang mga, ano ba ibig sabihin ng mindset? Bakit ba kailangan ng isang freelancer ng mindset?
Oh, okay. Well, mindset is really about how it's really
He got it without the translation.
with
He
that.
got the Tagalog.
Oh. I can 100% understand, although some words a little bit sketchy, but I can understand. But yeah, mindset, it's so important because it's really with us. That is one thing that is with us, created by us, and it is, something that really can control how we see the world and how we then behave to ourselves as well as to the people around us. So mindset is really, really important because it is really what we can use to navigate our journey. Sorry ha, my voice parang paos kasi it's late here na. So but yeah, it's what we use to navigate our journey. So kung yung mindset natin a little bit negative, our journey becomes more challenging. Pero kung it's positive, it's lighter on the chest. So it's really, that mindset of how we speak to ourselves, the message that we say to ourselves, and how we then motivate ourselves to just keep going with whatever challenge comes our way. So yeah.
Ayan. So,
Hindi
ibig
ko na
sabihin, so ibig sabihin, kasi honestly, nakaka-relate ako, alam mo yan, JC, kasi minsan sabi nga, we tend to overthink.
Oo.
Lalo na kapag kunwari, meron kang gustong bagay na i-achieve, sabi ni JC, nagre-react talaga sa
because that's actually Sheena's constant mindset. Overwhelmed, overthink, over everything. So,
Oo.
Yeah, so kung i-compare natin sa mga ka-freelancers, mga ka-home-based kada natin na nag-o-overthink, meron ka ba may sasuggest sa amin? Paano yung dapat namin gawin para ma-relax kami, ganun, parang hindi kami mag-overthink?
Oo.
What can
Yung the very, very important, yung mas importante, breathe. Stop and breathe. Whenever you start to feel like, oh my gosh, it's too much, I feel so overwhelmed, you start to feel like you can't control everything, just stop what you're doing and breathe. And like, as in, like right now, both of you, I want you to just breathe in through your nose and then out through your mouth. But like that, just that breathing that slows down your heartbeat. So it has to be breathing in through your nose and then out through your mouth, because that really calms you down. That is one of the most important things that you really can do for yourself. The other thing is also to replenish yourself and continually hydrate yourself with water, because it's, one of the things as home-based, professionals that we are, we forget, we sometimes we forget to stand
Mm,
up, we forget
right.
to eat, we forget to just do these things that, for our self-care. So we really have to make sure that, get drink water. And if you can't remember, put a reminder on your phone. Put a reminder on your phone. Like, seriously, like, I know that sounds funny, but if the reminder goes off, you'll and it'll say drink water. That's a good reminder, diba? And then that way you get to step away from your table, you get to have a little bit of break, and then while you're drinking your water, you can do your breathing exercise. I know those are like, it seems just so simple, but I'm telling you, when you're feeling really overwhelmed, it will really, really help you. And the other thing that I can recommend is, I want you at that point in time, I want you to think about one thing that you are grateful for. Like, todo, all of your heart, you are super grateful for. It could be just waking up. It could be your healthy children. And I know, like, how sometimes us mommies, we get
Yes.
stressed out because,
Yes.
like, the kids could be noisy and we're trying to work. Let's try to change that with our mindset and say, you know what? I am grateful that my children are healthy and they can make noise and play. So that really changes, right? And then that makes it a lot easier on our hearts, and then it makes it easier for us to keep going. Diva, right?
Mm.
Yes, true.
So, so instead of thinking na, hala, ang dami ko pang gagawin, hala, ang dami ko pang tatapusin yung mga anak ko, yung parang you will change your mindset and turn it into positive mindset
Yeah.
para kumalma ka, ganun. And then
Oh,
breathe in, breathe out.
yeah. And really, at the end of the day, you could do this because when you're able to control how you're feeling, and you're able to control, your heartbeat so that it's not feeling overwhelming, then you're able to create a list of like your top 3 things that you need to complete that day. Just 3. You don't have to list 10. And then when you actually complete it, tick it off so that you feel like, oh wow, galing ko. Galing ko. I was able to
Galing.
complete it, diba? And it's a boost. It boosts you up, and it really, and then you're able to then just keep going. So,
Mm.
it's not about the big things that we need to do. It's about the little things. And those little things, when we
Mm.
add it all together, oh my gosh, it makes life so much better.
Oo
Agree.
nga, no? Oo nga, no?
How,
Kasi,
how, what kind of mindsetting kaya yung pwede when it comes to the common concern of freelancers? So pag nag-apply sila, they get nervous, they overthink na, baka ganito yung isipin, baka di ako makapasa, yung mga ganun. Or how should they handle yung kapag rejections? Anong tamang mindset yung dapat nilang mindset?
Okay. I
Joshua?
mean, I think for me, it's like, allow yourself to feel what you're feeling, right? But we then have to, what when we, some because we have to sometimes feel sad, or sometimes we feel
mm.
like, oh gosh, I missed out, or whatever, or we feel nervous or whatever. That's normal because you're a human being, and that's okay. But
Mm.
after that, we have to also think about, why did we do this? Why did we choose this profession? Why did we choose to be a virtual professional? Because when we are reminded, or we remind ourselves about why we did this, it will most likely make us keep going. And so we have to remember, when we decided to be home based mommies, why did we do that?
Mm.
So that way we can go, oh, that's right. I'm here because I want to have a flexible work life.
Yes.
I'm here because I want to be there and be available for my children. And I'm here because I want to be able to, you know what I mean?
Mm.
Have a think about why you started the journey in the first place. And the other things is, even though you have been rejected, it's okay. What you in fact, go back to them and say thank you for the feedback. Are you able to give me other feedback so that I can use it to apply for my future interview, future application? You know, the thing is, like, for every rejection, and I'm sure many people have seen this, but when the door closes, there is a window that opens for us. So sometimes when there's a rejection, it's actually going to allow us to have an opportunity somewhere else. So I think it's really a way for us to think of these experiences as lessons. And then whatever we learn from that, we then make sure that we're able to apply it in the future. And, one of the other things is, don't forget that you have a lot of skills, you have qualifications, you have integrity. There are things that you have within you that makes you a great virtual professional. Don't forget that. Just because this was a no, it doesn't mean that you're a terrible person. It doesn't mean that you're bad at what you do. It's just this time around, there may have been somebody who has more experience than you, and that's okay. So this opportunity was for them, but there will be one for you for sure in the future. We just have to keep applying ourselves, and we don't give up, because we have to remember why we started in the first place. I really hope that helps people when they apply.
It's actually good because when you say they have to remind themselves of their why, it's actually that thing that would keep you going and pushing you
Yep.
forward. Because without it, you'll just have to rethink again and say, I don't know what I'm doing here, so I'm moving to the
Yeah,
next.
no, 100%. And I think that's what, anybody who's starting out in their virtual journey, that's what you should start off with. Why did you choose this profession to begin with? And I think, for anybody who's watching, whatever journey, whether it's virtual professional or whatever it is, before you start a career or before you start something, even if it's weight loss, why are you doing it? Because it is that will be your compass, parang the one that will guide you. It's going to be, that feeling that you have that will make sure you keep going. So it's definitely really important to have your why in mind.
Alam alam mo yung habang nakikinig ako parang sinasampal ng bagyo. Kasi sa totoo lang, minsan especially when you're getting clients, we're getting opportunities, sometimes we tend to forget kung ano yung reason kung bakit natin
Mm.
ginagawa. And dahil nga doon parang, gusto ko magkaroon ng maraming clients kasi kailangan ko kumita ng kumita, hanggang sa parang naglalabo-labo na halo-halo na yun sa isip mo, tapos na overwhelm ka na nga,
Yeah.
and then parang nawawala ka na sa focus, burnout ka na, and then you tend to forget yung bakit nga ba ako nandito, yun parang nawawala
Mm.
na yung reason mo. Kaya
Oo.
parang sinampal ng gano'n, Sheena, pak, 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 gano'n, gano'n. That's how I feel.
Hindi naman sampal. Oh
Hindi
my
kasi,
god.
parang, na ano ako, parang tinatamaan ako sa mga sinasabi.
Okay, hindi naman
Yeah.
sampal, maybe just an embrace, like a
Okay,
reminder.
yun.
Oh, di ba? I prefer an embrace, not a sampal.
Okay. Parang nagising ako. O sige, embrace na lang.
Oo.
Embrace kita ulit, Sheena. I think kasi yung why is actually a good way for you to stay out of that shiny object syndrome. If you
Yes,
have
correct.
why, when
Yes.
sinampal ko ulit si Sheena.
Well, that's from you, huh? That's from you.
Ano, namumula na ako.
With freelancing, it's easy for us to have that shiny object syndrome. When you
Correct.
see someone saying, I'm earning 6 digits, 7 digits,
Oo.
8 digits, or only have one client, pero ito na yung kinikita ko, it's easy for you to feel na, baka I should go to that niche. Maybe that's for me too. Pero
Yes.
when you assess, why are you there? Di ba most of us, I mean for me, my main reason for working at home is to take care of my kids.
Yep.
Sabi ko rin to before, my main goal before is just to earn 15K in a month. Parang okay na sa akin yon kasi at least sa bahay ako. And then, you get to see people earning 20,000, 30,000, 70,000, 100,000. And then I also decided na, gusto ko rin yun. Later on, during the race, you're burning out. You're feeling na
Yeah,
parang happening. I'm losing myself during the
yeah,
process. But if you have the proper why, if you stick with it, mas maayos yung journey mo. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. And I'm
I
sure
agree.
when you hit your number goal, pero do you see your children?
Are you happy?
So, oh, are you happy? Are you,
Right.
so it really, you really have to kind of weigh it out to make sure, is this actually really what's important to me? And
Mm.
is it really still making me happy? Which is really, it impacts the whole household, diba?
Yes.
Kung upset si mommy, then the whole household.
Parang,
Especially have that separation of personal and
yes.
office life because it's the same place.
At the
Yeah.
moment, yeah, exactly.
When we're pissed off, we're also pissed off with the kids, you know. Just
Yeah.
kidding. It's your fault you went here. So
Especially kapag marami kang deadlines tapos kalabit ng kalabit sa'yo.
Yeah.
ay
Hindi
nasa
ka pa na hindi ka pa nakakapagsaing, ganyan.
Yeah.
Hindi ka
the
And I
struggle.
think that's one of the things as well. Like, I like to remind people as well that like our children, didn't choose these jobs for us. We chose these jobs. So, we also have to make sure that we treat them with the same respect that we want them to treat us.
Yeah.
So, it's one of those things that sometimes, like what you said, when you have your deadlines, when you have all of these things that we need to do, we have to stop and remember, ako pala, this is my career. Oh, this is my deadline.
Ayan.
This is my choice. I'm
Yes.
the one who said yes. Hindi naman yung kids ko. So we have to
Mm.
make sure that we remind ourselves of that because it's not fair to them. We are, at the end of the day, ladies, moms, dads, everybody who's watching, we are parent first. And that's what we should be doing. So yeah, it's one of those things that I also remind myself, I'm not
Mm.
nowhere near perfect either. So I'm trying to share with you what I try to do for myself as well.
Yeah, and even din sa introduction nakita ko na, ang dami mo pang nagiging activities. Kaya sabi ko, how can she balance her time with her family? And yun pa, founder of Kaya Services, meron ka pang agency. How can you handle those? Parang,
Oh wow.
we both have 7 days and 24 hours in a day. So, paano yun? Galing.
Paano yun? Okay, well, all of my activities, those were all pre-COVID, okay? And I must say, yung activities no, they were all pre-children too. Okay, so
Mm.
like I haven't gone bungee jumping with kids. I haven't gone skydiving or anything like that because I get nervous thinking, what if something happens to me? What about my children? Like so
Ah, right.
I don't do those things now. Before, yes, but now that I'm a mommy, that's again I'm mommy first. But uh, the real tip here, and I know you know this too, Sheena, you have to have a really great team. So shout out to my team, Team Kaya and Team EBS. You have to have a great team that you trust wholeheartedly. And when I say you trust, like you can say to them, okay, this is what we're gonna do, and we talk, like we discuss, we talk about, what the vision is of the business, where we're gonna go, how we're going to strategize, and you can trust them, and you can trust that they'll be able to that you we do it as a team. Like I always say this to the team, that this isn't just for me, this isn't for me to just have a good life, this is for all of us. We're doing this so that we're able to have a good a good life for ourselves and our families, and at the same time we're also uplifting the Filipino virtual professionals, and at the same time also supporting Australian business owners. So I one of the things is really to have a great team behind you, and also making sure, Sheena, is like have compassion to yourself. You may not complete everything in one day, and it's okay.
Yeah.
right? It's okay. So, really, it's just prioritizing what needs to be done today, and if it needs to be done tomorrow, it's fine. At the end of the day, like I always say, one of the things that my husband and I say is like, it's not like we've got a body in front of us that we need to urgently operate on. You know what I mean? Like it's completely different. So we have to just be compassionate to ourselves, and if it needs to wait till tomorrow, then so be it. We have to
Right.
be, we have to be parents as well. So yeah, great teamwork and compassion. There's so many things, but like I feel like I don't want to. We might be here for 3 hours. If I kept going and going.
But Miss Yona, I think a great team would actually work because they have a great leader, di ba? Siyempre, if the leader is
Oo.
really bad or not encouraging them or not acknowledging them,
Hmm.
dahil ano pa yung tiwala ng leader, at the end of the day, aalis yung mga tao because they don't feel valued. So I think your team is working well because they have a good leader. Which is
Yes.
Maraming salamat. Thank you so much. I try. I try every day, and I really hope. I hope that's how they feel.
I'm
mag-comment na
sure,
kayo
yeah.
kung ayaw nyo mag-isanda dito.
Kundi kick na kayo.
Sige na, sige na.
Biglang ganun.
Biglang may love heart. Biglang may ano.
It's
Ayan,
actually, this is actually
singit ko lang. Sorry. Ayan, sabi niya, sabi ni Ramram kasi, thank you for this. It gives me more hope to upset right now. I just lost my client.
Oh, Ram, I'm sorry to hear that. But you know what? Like, there will be another one.
yes.
And just
Yes.
because you lost a client, it doesn't mean, I mean, like, have a think about, okay, why, what happened, and just learn from that experience. Okay. And don't take it too personally. Just make sure you learn from this experience and just do the best that you can to apply whatever it is that you've learned for your next client. But it's not the end of the world. There are many clients out there. Don't forget how many people there are on this planet. There will be another one. Don't lose hope. Don't lose hope. Kaya mo yan. Kaya natin to.
Ayan. Kaya kaya services, di ba?
Oo nga, no? Di
Nasingit
ba?
mo.
Yes.
Actually, nakaka-relate ako kay Ramram kasi like, alam ni JC yun na parang naging ano din ako, medyo naging bitter ako nung nawalan ako ng isang client na talagang inakala ko na okay. So sabi ko, what's the best way for me to move on? So ang ginawa ko is inano ko sila, as in tinanggal ko sa contacts ko, tinanggal ko sa binlock ko para hindi ko na sila makikita. But then sabi nga ni JC, how will you be able to move on kung hindi mo parang hindi ko sure kung tama ba yung ginawa ko or dapat pa makipag-usap pa rin ako sa kanila. Should I still reach out with them? Hayaan ko lang ba sila nakikita? What can you advise for me? Parang sa akin na to eh, no? Ano dapat ko gawin? Kasi merong mga freelancers na ganyan eh. Like yung kay Ramram, na-reject sila. Tapos, nag-ghosting, di ba? What's the proper way for us to move on? Kasi, yes, although it says na it's okay not to be okay, kaya lang merong times sa parang masakit pa rin, meron kang
Oo. Of
mararamdaman.
course. Kasi
Mm-mm.
hindi na closing loop. So,
Mm-mm.
dapat maybe if you can, kung of course kung ghosted, there's nothing you can do, okay? Like it's not kung na-ghost ka, it's not you, it's them. Plain and
Yes.
simple, right?
If
Plain and simple. But if you're able to communicate with this person and you feel like it's not closed or you don't feel like I just don't feel comfortable about this, speak to them. Just communicate. Just reach out to them and say, I just wanted to talk to you about, what's happened and whatever it is that you want to talk about. Always to seek, one of the things I learned is always to seek to understand before being understood. So try to understand where the other person is coming from. And then from there, you'll then be able to decide what you'll do next. Again, it's always about communication. No matter how scared, no matter how nervous, no matter what, however way we are feeling, when we communicate and we communicate in a respectful manner, generally the other person will receive it well.
Agree.
So it's all always about open communication and in a respectful way. So just use your confidence and your courage because you want the answer so that you then are able to close the loop.
Yes. Or if you've been ghosted, just light a candle and then get a doll and a pin and then just start talking.
Cool. Hashtag
Oh my
kulang kasi.
god! Maybe not everybody. Maybe not. Don't do that.
Nawala.
Oh my god! Like in
So
those kinds of situations, and it has happened to me. But if there are situations, like no matter what religion you believe in, I think you just pray that they continue to just be
true.
the best person that they can be and just wish them luck. Like there's nothing more we can do. Like, but
Mm.
again, it's not you, it's them. There's issues there that they aren't able to face. So yeah, so maybe not the doll, okay, guys?
Or you boil the dal.
Oh my god!
Grabe.
Oh, you too. You're so funny. Oh my
Just
god.
kidding.
Love it.
Yeah.
Ayan, singit
Go ahead,
singit ko
Sheena.
lang 'tong ano, sabi ni ay nawala, teka, naiba yung ano ko.
Sheena,
Love
Ayan,
heart.
sabi ni, Sheila Ordoyo, "Great team, trust, compassion."
Yes, 100% Sheila.
Ayan.
I
So
love
what
hearts. Yay.
so what we're discussing right now is already about still mindset. Medyo makulit lang kami, but we're still talking about mindset. Wala ba? Still mindset. Ayan. Miss Yuna, how about yung yung tipong yung pangit yung rejection na binibigay sa'yo. So you still have that client, but every time the client talks to you, medyo parang condescending yung pakikipag niya. What mindset or how should we approach it po?
Okay. I think tell them. Tell them. No, seriously, for real. Look, I should close the door. But yeah, tell them. And don't do it over email. Don't do it over text or anything like that. Organize a time that you're able to speak to them, like face to face if possible. We've got video call now, so I think it's best. And just tell them that, and really do this in a respectful manner, right? Really, um, and I know that in these types of situations, we tend to get emotional. Try to keep the emotions out of this, because you really want to be able to voice out the concern. And I really would just tell them and if possible, try to provide examples. So if there's a situation, kung email, like kung may wording na sinabi nila, try to capture it. Or try to capture the moments where it made you feel, like it's condescending or something like that. But one of the things, and then, okay, all right, there's a lot of things that's happening in my mind. So approach them and tell them that when this happened, I felt this way. And so a lot of the time, because many people will go, you did this, and then this happened. So straight away, you're accusing somebody straight away. Now you. So if you say, when this happened, I felt like this. But one of the things that I want to say before doing that is having a think about whether they are actually being condescending. Like, are we just taking it personally?
Yeah.
Or are we just taking it like we're too emotional? Because it might not, it might be that they're just speaking, like they're just being the way that they are. And maybe they actually they're not meaning to be condescending. So one of the things, right, I want to remind everybody is that we are coming, we all have different types of clients from around the world. So one of the things that we have to keep in mind is culturally, everybody has got different backgrounds.
Yes.
So sometimes some other cultures, they're so straightforward. They're just like bang, bang,
Mm.
bang. But to them, they actually don't mean like they're actually, to them it's not rude.
Cultural difference.
It's just culturally, that's just the way they are. But to others, it's kind of like, oh my God, what is this person? Like, what ano ba yan? Like, you know what I mean? And
Yes,
so
Mm.
actually.
sometimes we also have to sit back and go, are they being rude or is it actually a cultural thing? If they're saying, oh, you're stupid or blah, blah, yes, for sure. That's just unprofessional. That's rude. And you can call them out on that straight away. But if it's, like sometimes just the way, the tone or something like that, we just have to think, is this a cultural thing? Or are we taking it personally? And then try to then deal with it that way. And then if you really need to speak to them about it. And I really would urge people to do it by video, so at least they can see you and you can see them, because people will sometimes misunderstand emails or text messages or anything, things like
Yes,
that.
I agree.
Yeah,
True.
I hope
With
that
regards
helps.
to with regards to the cultural difference, it's actually good that you mentioned that. I remember having a German client, and the way that they speak, it's always like they're screaming at you or they're being rude, but actually that's just their accent.
Yeah, yes,
Mm.
correct,
And
exactly.
sometimes they speak the wrong word because they're translating it. So sometimes you feel like, what? Why are
Yeah,
you telling me that? But they just indifferent.
exactly. And that's the thing, right? You know how we were talking about Tagalog English. So for them,
Mm.
there's so many things as well. So they generally speak German all the time. And then they're then trying to translate to English. And so there's so many things that could go. And that's why they say, diba, lost in translation. So sometimes, we have to just just empathize with the other person, think about where they're coming from. Again, seek to understand before being understood. But that's actually one of my advocacies, is to really show strength in cultural diversity, because it's one of those things that we are able to accomplish so much when we're able to do things together. And one of the two cultures, most especially, that I'm trying to show strength in is, of course, Australian and Filipino, because obviously both countries are very, very close to my heart. But yeah, it's definitely, it's one of those things that when it comes to cultures, we just have to have that empathy and just that understanding.
Agree. At the end of the day, as long as you're getting paid, and
Yeah, and you're doing your
Yes.
job, it's okay.
that's the first thing, you're doing your job and you're getting paid. So okay.
We're cleared.
Because I mean, there would be clients who would talk nicely, very sweet, and then during the payday, it's gone, ghosting. I don't know you, you're blocked and stuff. So I guess at the end of the day, as long as you're paid, that's better than
And as long as you're happy too, like you
yeah.
don't want to be staying at a job where you feel like you're not worth anything, you know what I mean? Like people should
Correct.
Yeah,
still be
right.
speaking to you with respect, and because yeah, you're a human being, you shouldn't be treated less than anything that.
Mm. Yes, definitely. Yuna, is there a mindset din dapat na i-apply kapag you're going to ask for, higher rate? Parang, how will you charge the client kasi? Iniisip ko kung ano ba yung dapat na mindset kapag gusto mo na i-increase yung rate mo and you have to ask your client about that? Parang, is it about your, ano ba? Tama ba yung tanong ko? Kasi
Yeah, yeah,
minsan
yeah.
iniisip, ay,
I don't know,
actually,
tanong mo yan.
yun yung tanong ko.
Ikaw
Tama ba yung
nagtanong.
tanong ko? Ang gulo ko kausap. That's my question. Tama ba yung tanong ko? Iniisip ko kasi merong mga freelancers na yung mindset na parang nahihiya ako mag-charge ng malaki, or tama ba na ganito yung isipin ko na kaya ko na ba i-charge siya, si client? Yung parang ang dami mong inaalala. You just want, parang alam mo naman sa sarili mo, you need a higher rate kasi you have expenses, ganyan. Pero nahihiya kang sabihin yun and marami kang inaalala kung dapat mo bang itanong yun sa client. So what's the right mindset for that? Yun na yung tanong
Okay.
ko.
Yeah.
Tama, no,
Sure.
Miss.
Well, that's really interesting, right? So you also have to think about kung justified yung rate increase that you're requesting, right?
Mm.
So you also have to think about what are the things that you're doing, and how is that how is that related to the growth of their business? Because if as a business owner, you also have to think about they also have the financials and they've got their projections, they've got their profit loss and all of that, right? And so they're also considering those things whenever they're hiring, whenever they're purchasing, whenever they're doing anything with their business. It always comes back to that profit loss, balance sheet, all of that. So you have to also think, how does my work and how is my task helping towards their bottom line or their profit? Because if you're able to then show that, you know what I'm doing is greatly connected to lead generation. The amount of leads, for this is just an example, for the amount of leads that I'm bringing to you, that's sales towards your business. And so that's where you also need to think about it in the way of the business side. It's not just about what you're experiencing in your personal life, because the business owner will say, well, and this is just, this is just when speaking to other business owners, right? They'll say, well, it's not really I wasn't the one who chose for your child to go to that particular school. You're the one who chose for your child to go to that particular school. So you should be able to afford it. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just trying to go on both perspectives there. So we have to make sure that when we're requesting for things, and even for like this is for everybody, including business owners. For me, like when I'm asking for my clients, we have to also show that the services or that we're providing is greatly connected to something that is helping with their business. And generally, when it comes to sales and things like that, it's a little bit, easier. But I think if we're able to show and really show with no emotion, just showing that this is just fact, then they'll be more open to it. And so if we're able to show it in that professional and business sense, I think they'll receive it better. As opposed to, oh, I need this because I need to do this personal thing and stuff like that. They'll be like, well, that's got nothing to do with me.
Yes.
Diba? So yeah. So I hope that's helped. I hope that's given an insight to
So
how you could approach it.
I think Miss Yuna is saying is like when you're asking for a raise, at least try to assess whether you're that important for the business or not. Because if not, and then your reasoning is personal, then the decision of the business owner might be, teka lang, that's not my problem. Wala pa nga akong kinikita. But I mean, if the business is growing and it's because of you, then by all means, di ba po? Kahit pa paano, I think the client would take
Or
your
not
business.
okay. Sorry. Let me add to that. So it doesn't necessarily mean business growing. Also, how do I help with the hours of your day?
Yes.
So with your business owner. So with what I do, I've just added 8 hours to your day because you don't have to worry about bookkeeping, or you don't have to worry about
Your work.
researching competitor analysis. You don't have to worry about. I did it, and I did it in 8 hours. So I actually gave you 8 hours of your day. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But I probably wouldn't say I gave you 8 hours. Parang yabang naman
Yes.
yun. But you know what I mean? Like if
Yeah.
we say it like that, so it doesn't have to be growing in terms of like the profit. That is one great way to show it, but also showing that you've helped them and the benefits that you've given them. Because at the end of the day, right, business owners, they they want to grow the team because they want to increase their sales, and also they want to gain more time
Yes, the freedom.
and be more
Yes.
efficient. So if you're able to show those things, I think, and you're able to do it in a professional way, I think the conversation will flow well.
I think the conversation next would be how much are you asking for a raise?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's exactly. So you have to be ready. And don't say, oh, whatever you want. No. If you're going to ask, you better be ready.
Yes, you make sure
Mm.
it's more work. There will be a negotiation afterwards.
Oo.
It's telling you're buying from the digital detox. You have to make sure you can hug it afterwards. So there. Miss Kaya, ano po yung, what are the tips that you can give freelancers po with regards to getting the proper mindset when, if they're gonna start, ano yung dapat na nakaset up sa utak nila?
Oh, okay. Well, firstly, again, start with your why. And if for those who don't know, it's just really why have you chosen this profession? Why did you want to be a virtual assistant? Why did you want to be a home-based person? Why did you want to be a remote worker or a virtual professional? Why did you choose that? And I think write those things down. And those things can change. So what I suggest is review it every 6 months, just to make sure that it's still true to your current circumstance or anything like that. Because this will be the one that helps you. The other thing is, a lot of the times people go, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't have money, I don't have whatever. They make a list of reasons, but I'd like to say excuses that they're not good enough. We have to be resourceful, right? Filipinos around the world, we are like one of the most resourceful people. We can turn a plastic bottle into a light. Like I have seen it. I have seen it and it's amazing, right? So we are resourceful people. And when we're able to look at our past experience, because the thing is, sometimes they'll go, oh, you don't have what's a good example? Like for example, you don't have direct bookkeeper experience, right? But you were able to help your tita at the sari sari store with the stock of her sari sari store, and you were able to record the sales. So tita may have not called it bookkeeping, pero that's pretty much bookkeeping, diba?
Right.
So as long as you're able to reflect back on your past experience and make sure you're being honest, right? Like I'm not saying, oh my gosh, because you helped Tita, that's it, like you're okay. But actually, as long as it really truly translates to that particular requirement that you're trying to meet for that job. So have a think about, what are the things that you've done? What are, where we need to start from within. What are our skills? um, there are so many things that we're good at. So I think the other thing is also like back yourself, have confidence. Kaya mo yan. Like you are blessed. You have these things in your life. You have your family, whatever your circumstance. At the end of the day, we are all blessed, and so you really need to make sure that you're able to, back yourself and be proud of who you are, because there's only one of you, and there's one of you, and you have these skills, you have these experiences that will make it unique to whatever job that you're applying for. So I mean there's a lot of things that I can suggest in terms of mindset, and I think that's one of the things that we like to share at EVS. And really, if it's anything, those are the things that I would like people to at least start with, to start with their why, and just having a look within themselves as to what they're able to offer. And I'm telling you, more ways than not, like you will have so much to offer, and really just have that confidence to back yourself.
I think the confidence is very important now, because if you
Mm.
yourself don't believe in what you can do, then how can you make your client believe that
Yes.
Correct.
And
Exactly.
like when you're talking, di ba? Pagka hindi mo
mm,
alam, when they are asking you, can you do this? You might look like, yes,
yes.
Yeah.
yes.
And that's the thing, like kung hindi mo alam, just say I don't know. Like don't pretend, because you'll get caught out. Like, cuz there's people that you speak to and they're like, "Oh yes, yes, I can do that. I can do that." And then the time
Mm.
comes and it's like, "Oh, I actually don't know. It's like, then why did you say yes? It's actually better to put your hand up to say, I don't know, or I need help, rather
Mm-hmm.
than not telling the truth. And so I think that's another thing that I would suggest. Making sure that you're very honest. I mean, and that's the other thing as well, like making sure that whatever we do, whatever we apply for, in whatever circumstances, we always live with integrity. That is the other thing. I almost forgotten. I think my mom and my dad, they may have some apology if I missed that one, but that's that's the one thing. Integrity. Integrity is very, very important.
Yeah. Ako naman, kung may add ko lang, I mean, kapag ka tinanong ka na tapos hindi ko alam, instead of saying no, what I will say is that, right now, hindi ko pa siya alam, but I will
Oo,
research about it and I will help you. I will find a way to help you. Sabi
exactly.
nga, di ba, turn it to positive.
Oo.
Yes,
Or
yes.
kung interview, I don't know, but I'm willing to learn
Mm-hmm.
and train and be trained for it.
Wow.
And I'm a quick learner, so if
Wow.
I'm able to, like, and then start to add other things. Yes.
True, true. Ako naman, Miss Yuna, what I do is like kapag may tinatanong silang mga tools na hindi ko alam, I would normally Google that while on the interview just to see the interface. Tapos kapag pakiramdam ko, same din naman siya nung ginagamit ko ngayon. So I would say I've seen it but haven't really used it.
Oh
So,
yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
So,
But
yun
Yeah.
mga
That's
you're not
diskarte.
lying na you know, tapos pagdating nung nandun ka na sa client, hindi ko alam, saan napunta pa ng mga deadline.
Nataranta na.
because but the thing is, like, a lot of clients, they know anyway that may YouTube, there's so many online resources that you
Yes.
could learn. So, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, that's how they learn. I'm for
Yes,
sure.
true.
Everybody just turns to online resources now. So I think and what's important is really for us to just to be honest about it, because they'll be like, yeah, because there are some clients who will also say, oh, we can provide training if you need it. So that's why sometimes we just have to say it.
Yes.
Yes. I think it would be easier to set that kind of expectation then. So at least if alam nilang you don't know, they can provide you with assistance rather than expecting a result na hindi mo pala mabibigay because you
Mm-hmm.
oversell yourself.
Yeah. And they act you it actually shows you as a person as well, that you're honest, and you'll tell them the truth and things like that. And so it actually puts you ahead. The business owner looks at you in a different way.
True. Ayan. Setting
Ayun na.
expectation of the client and setting your
Mm.
mindset. Yun ang nasagot na ni Miss Yona. Dalawa na kagad. Ayan. Okay. Miss Yona, ano po ba yung EBS? Ano po ba ang meron sa EBS?
Mm-mm. EVS.
Oh, EVS. So empowered virtual services. Oh my gosh. I It's our one of my businesses, and really we are about empowering Filipino virtual professionals, particularly Filipinos, right? Because I really believe, and I truly believe, that Filipinos are amazing. There are, um, in terms of the virtual space as well. So there are so many things in our culture, like in terms of our resourcefulness, our cheerful and happy disposition, the fact that we are so family oriented, and when we are friends with a person or even with our clients, we really give ourselves wholeheartedly, because when we enjoy what we do, and we enjoy what we work who we work with, we really todo, like everything, we really give it all, right? And so that's one of the things I really love, about how we as Filipinos work. And so one of the things, that I feel like we could best support virtual professionals is through the mindset and motivation. And so at EVS, we want to provide, mentoring, training, and coaching, as well as connecting with, opportunities. But really, it's about that support to of the mindset and motivation to be their best selves. One of the things that, and I'm just going to say it, in our culture, there's different nuances, there's different things that we have grown up with, because our lolas, our great lolas, everything is just being passed down. And some of it, we have to face it, some of it is not healthy. So there are some things that we need to unlearn, and it's possible, right? It's possible. So it's about providing support to the virtual professionals in particular, to, sometimes unlearn these things so that we can support them with their mindset and their motivation so they could really be their best selves. And it's not just for their clients, this is for them. Because at the end of the day, when they are good within themselves, their family will benefit from that. And then from there, the community, and then from there, the country. And then we're able to also provide our services globally. So that's what we do at EVS. I am so yeah. I just love it. I call it like my third child, I suppose, because it was born in between my children. I've got a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, and so it's like born in between my businesses. So yeah, I'm so proud of it because of that. We've got one mind, we have one heart, we have one self, and so we have to make sure that we support it so that we can be our best self. Yeah, so that's empowered virtual services.
Okay, that's why it's called empowered.
Yes, correct. Exactly. So it's really intentional yung mga names ng businesses ko, yung Kaya Services kasi kaya natin to, and then Empowered Virtual Services because it is really about empowering people.
Yeah, mai-add ko lang kasi nung before this interview and yung naging guest ako dun sa EVS, when I was talking to Loy, sabi ko, kinakabahan akong i-guest ka honestly yun. I was hesitating na baka hindi ko kaya siyang interviewin or kausapin. And I even asked JC to attend this interview kasi medyo nininervous talaga ako. Sabi ko, kaya ko ba siya kausapin? And iba yung I mean, nung I was talking to Loy, siya na mismo yung nag-empower sa akin na, yes, kasi okay naman siya kausap. Yung parang, naano ako talaga na, okay, sige, kukontakin ko siya. Kasi talaga nung una, nag-overthink na naman ako dati. Sabi ko, baka mamaya pure English, baka ako mamaya hindi ko madala yung conversation. So, and now when I was talking to you, parang napakagaan lang. So,
Yes.
parang nagre-reflect din kung yung sa mga teammates mo, nagre-reflect talaga kung sino yung leader nila. And I can relate personally na parang ang sarap maging din na maging part ng EVS kasi iba yung community niyo, iba yung samahan nyo din. Pwede po ba akong lumiwan na joke? Lumiwan na sila, JC.
Okay, bye, JC.
JC, alam mo na yung login ko.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you for sharing that. And, I honor you for being courageous, for even sharing that with me and in front of everybody, because I think we have to share these experiences with people because, it's one of those things that we have to remind people that they're not alone in these things. And that's why I'm glad that you actually said that to Loy, because at least she was able to, reassure you na we're okay, like normal naman ako. I don't mind.
You don't pin a doll?
I don't pin a doll. I don't foul anybody.
It's my kid,
I'm glad, and I really I'm so happy to hear that you feel comfortable, and really that's what it is, and this is the reason why we do what we do, like with Loy, with Ariane, with Mafe, and the rest of the team, Gladys, and because it's about the community, and it's really about creating that community of like the collaboration over competition, community over competition. There's so much opportunity for all of us, but if we're able to help each other to rise, how much more fun would that be, diba? So yeah, I'm glad you're able. Oh my gosh, you're so good at this, Sheena. I don't even know why you were nervous. Seriously,
even during
the you're scared and you're the first one who did this.
oh my god.
He's been
Oh
doing
my
it more
God.
than I do. So I was like,
See? JC was like, oh my God, sino ba to? Sino si Yona?
Sabi ko, JC, sumama mo ako. Baka di ko kayanin. Ganun talaga. and, and then right now, yung conversation natin, parang relaxing lang. Especially when breathe in, breathe out. Okay, mamaya gagawin ko yung breathe in, breathe out.
Yes,
And malamang lagi ko siyang gawin dahil lagi ako nag-overthink.
definitely. It will help. It will help.
And also
For
the why.
sure.
You have to also remember that.
Yes. Yes, definitely. All of these things, like it's so important because it'll just make us keep going. And again, don't forget, so before the two of you sleeps, and for everybody who's watching, before you sleep tonight, I want you to think about at least one thing that you are grateful for from today.
Snap!
There's one thing.
Snap!
A snack.
Snap! Food! I have many.
Yes. Yes, and that's good. It's good because that makes us feel like that actually it leaves that heaviness off us, and we think, oh my gosh, I think, yeah, I actually love my life. Diba? It's a good reminder that we are blessed, and yeah, we're blessed. Or you'll be able to sleep better that way as well.
Right. And especially kapag home-based mom ka, halos iniisip mo yung buong maghapon na nangyari, and ang
Yeah.
ang daming ganap na sabihin na nating medyo nakapagpa-stress sa'yo. So it will really be helpful na at
Yeah.
least one man lang meron ka maisip na may maganda akong nagawa, or ako ay magaling sa ganitong bagay.
Oo.
Yeah, and that can really make your day.
And if
Okay,
you really
noted.
if you really can't think of anything, don't forget you have a bed to sleep on. There.
Yes.
Diba?
Yes, and
You
you're
have a roof
breathing.
over your shoulder.
People beside you are also breathing, so I think that's better, especially with the COVID right now. That's where it's
Exactly. 100%. Exactly.
Yan. Ang dami nating natutunan kay Miss Yuna today.
Oo nga, sana maulit to.
Sige, live. Lilipat na kami doon. Dito tayo.
Pwede ba? Kim, ikaw na bahala na sa login. Sabay lipat sa SMM.
Oh my
Ayan.
gosh. Well, I'm sure this is only the beginning. So I'm
Yes.
sure there will be many, many amazing things that we could do together. And
Yeah.
yeah, this is exciting. I mean, like, I've had so much fun. Like,
Yes, and we've learned a lot. We've learned about the whys, confidence,
Mm.
you have to think about something that you need to be thankful for, how you could, prepare yourself during interview, how you're supposed to think when it comes to rejection. I also love what Miss Yona said na there's a lot of opportunity. We don't have to think of ourselves, each other as competitors kasi there's
Yes.
a lot of fish in the ocean. Ano fish?
yeah. Oh my God. No, think about this, right? When you go to your supermarket, when you go to the bread aisle, diba, there's so many breads,
Yes. And not everyone is taking the same brand.
right?
Yes.
There is somebody, there is a service for everybody, there is a product for everybody. So like that bread, there is so many brands, and they are still thriving. So that's how we just support each other. That's it.
Mm.
What I
Yeah,
always
especially-
actually use as an example, Miss Yuna, is also the K-pop group. So there's already a K-pop group, but we all also have so many singers, and there are so many more singers popping out from TikTok. But they're doing it. They have their own followers. They have their own loyal
Yep.
fans. So it means
Yes.
God gave you that thing because you have what it takes, and
Yeah,
you have
and you're unique. You make it you. So that's what makes it different. So, oh, I love it. Thank you both so much. My God, thank you for having
I
me.
have a question.
Oh.
What's with the plants? Because you have a plant, and she has. Maybe I should plant something.
Do you know, actually, like, there's some plants, for example, this snake plant. So I like to say that I'm a bit of a plantita. So this snake plant, I don't know for anybody who out there, but if scientifically, this is actually good for the air, for your room. There's something about it that gives off, like, cleans the air or something. Like, so I was just reading, and so I was like, okay, I'll get some plants. But I've grown them. I'm able to propagate now, so I
Wow.
create like little pots, and I just give us a gift. But I love this because it's pink, It's got like
Mm.
pink leaves, but for me, it's relaxing. So
Yes.
that's the other thing. I had a really great conversation today with one of our guests, and she was saying that when for all of us who are working from home, when you look at our the space that we're working in, you also have to think, how will I be able to best work? So you need to create a space that will be conducive to working. So if you need to add plants, so it looks like even Mom Shishina likes plants. So yes,
Yes.
yes, we'll need to. I don't
I
know.
only have cats. I
Oh,
have
you got cats.
Lagyan
Oh,
mo ng dahon.
actually, yeah, you have to make sure that the plants you get is okay for pets as well.
like
Yeah.
my stress relievers are my cats. I
Oh,
used to
okay.
say it's my kid. Now that no, that's not my piece anymore. I'm just kidding. I'm like, leave my soul alone. Yeah, it's actually good. What Miss Yona said is like you have to have zen as well in your
Yes.
workspace. Yeah, positive attracts positive, so you have to have something positive at least
Uh,
at the workspace. So
Yep.
if
I
you
can
reply it
relate.
with negative, you have something positive. Just
Yeah.
kidding.
I can relate. Nakakailang lipat na ako dito sa bahay kasi nga naghahanap ako ng space na ano po marerelax ako. So eto na, hopefully ito na yung final space ko
Okay, good.
na mas nakakapag-isip ako. Yun nga, gusto ko merong plant sa paligid ko kahit paano. Para parang nakaka-remove ng stress.
Yes.
Ako lang nag-i-stress sa sarili ko.
Yeah, exactly. And then if you like it
Yeah.
and it provides that stress reliever, then why not? So are you
Hmm.
both based in like Luzon? You
Yes,
work there, both of you,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully,
it's just
whenever
beside.
I'm, you're just neighbors.
I'm just kidding. In Bulacan, I'm in Quezon City, but it's like very near. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So if ever I'm in the Philippines, we'll have to, and it's all safe to meet up. We'll have to have a get
Yes.
together.
We will.
Yeah.
Just
I'm not a good swimmer. Let me tell you now.
Don't worry, we
But
won't.
I can sing. I can sing with you. Ah,
Oh my
yes.
gosh!
Video,
Wow.
okay.
sample.
No way.
Hindi
No
na,
way.
okay na. Okay na. Sabi
No.
ko.
Okay. Okay. Bye.
Sheena left the group.
You're the left the group.
Yes, if
Yun,
you're
so,
in the Philippines, just let us know. Hopefully in Luzon as well. Unless
Yes.
you would try to avoid the traffic, then I think the best is Cebu or Davao.
No, no, no. I usually go to Luzon. That's where we usually go. That's where most of like relatives and friends are. So I'll definitely be there.
Avoid.
If you send me to Cebu, then have I won't know anybody in Cebu.
ayan. Okay, singit ko na yun. Aside from Kaya Services, meron ka pa ba ipo-promote? Meron ba mga upcoming events? Ganyan. Or
Oh my
sa
gosh.
team or ano?
Yeah, I have. Well, we have a few things in store. So obviously I've got Kaya Services. That's our Australian-based business providing virtual assistance for business owners in Australia and beyond, as well as EBS. So providing that support for mindset and motivation for Filipino virtual professionals. Um, Really just keep in contact on our social media, and I have my own personal account as well. But yeah, just keep there's a few things in store. Actually, we've got a few things, so just keep in contact with regards to our social media, and then we'll be updating everybody. But yeah, there's a few things that we're cooking in the kitchen, so to speak. So
Nice. You can I actually saw Miss Yona's Instagram. There's a lot of inspirational stuff there. It's actually good. So
yes.
you guys have to look at that for proper
Yes.
eyes. You already know where to hunt Miss Yona. No, I'm just kidding. Where you can find Miss Yona if ever you need anything for EBS and of course inspiration. Kasi yung Instagram niya super inspiring.
Thank you.
Yes, ayan.
Ayan. So, ito may pahabol. Sabi niya, thank you. Thank you, Miss Yona and Ma'am Shi, for empowering us. God bless.
Thank you also. Thank you for
Yes.
watching.
Yes.
Oh,
Dami
yay.
takeaways.
Oh, I'm
Si
so
Kim to
glad.
ah.
Thank you. Thank you,
Kim,
everyone.
Kim is
Yan.
actually smiling and laughing because she's also laughing with us.
Yeah. Maraming salamat to everybody who's joined us on Facebook
Yan.
and on YouTube. Thank you,
Mm,
everybody.
Thank you
Miss
so much,
Um,
Yuna.
Miss Yona. Sobrang diba, sobrang na-overwhelm na naman ako. Sobrang na-appreciate ko talaga, especially yung part dun sa isa, yung paano maharapin yung client na nag-reject sa'yo. Kasi doon talagang tinamaan ako. And meron na akong plano kung ano gagawin ko ngayon kasi napaisip din ako. Tama rin kasi how can you move on kung ibablock mo sila? Might as well kausapin mo na lang sila, di ba?
Yes.
exactly.
Baka maging friends pa kayo. Hindi man
Oh,
business, but at least you can be friends, di ba?
oh,
Yes.
and
Ayan
more
din ako na
importantly,
sumampal.
but more importantly, even if you're not friends or you're not clients
Mm,
or whatever, as long as you're able to sleep, right? Because
yes,
if
yes.
it's hanging on you and it's on your chest, you're not going to be comfortable. So
Agree.
you have to just do it. So if ever, Sheena, just message me if ever you have a question or anything like that. Just message me and I can help you. But I'm not the one who's going to contact that person.
Yun
Okay?
nga sasabihin
Hindi
ko.
naman ako.
Yona, kasi ikaw, Yona. Siya naman. Yona, etong pin sa'yo. Naka-Zoom meeting tapos nagpipin ng ganun. Just kidding.
Oh my god,
Ayun.
so funny. You both of you are so much fun. Thank you so much for making my evening
We're,
because it's 10, almost 10:30 na here. So
our life begins at 10 p.m. actually.
Miss Yuna will already say it ahead. We'll have you again sometime.
yes,
Yes.
Because this is a fun interview. Thank you, Miss Yuna. We learned a lot.
thank you both.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Right. And thank you everyone sa lahat ng maten sa live natin tonight sa Facebook page and sa YouTube channel. Follow nyo rin po yung mga Facebook accounts ni Yona, ni Miss Yona. And sa EBS Empowered, ano ba yun? Basta lalagay ko na lang yung link sa description box. Nakalimutan ko yung bungan. Pero lalagay ko po lahat para you can check out, maka-join din po kayo sa kanilang community and makita yung mga opportunity din po sa kanilang account. So, again, I'm Sheena Santos, Jay Shitan is here, and Miss Yona Signo. Have a great evening, everyone!